Morning guys, welcome back to Mac Farms. We're spreading down the road today, so it's actually a little bit closer to the main farm than where we were spreading at before. Even though it is down the road, which kind of makes it sound like it's farther, but this field is actually closer. So hopefully we'll get a few more loads out today than yesterday, but we'll see what happens anyway. And yeah, I spread one load here already, as you can see. So this field was sprayed too. We're going to seed that this fall. Still got the Challenger hooked on. We got the white back yesterday finally. The white was up getting some work done to it, some repairs, computer issues and whatnot. At our kind of local dealer, I guess. It's not really that local. It's 3.5 hours away, but that's our closest Massey dealer. So anyway, it was up there getting some work done to it. Got it back yesterday. So I'll use the Challenger hauling down the road here. And I'm not sure how much more manure we're going to spread here anyway, but if we do spread any more back at the home farm, I'm going to switch back to the white, because I actually do still prefer the white to the Challenger. I don't know, I like the gears and then the Dynashift on the armrest more so than I like the little T-handle thing on the Challenger. Just kind of personal preference. And on top of that, I like the longer wheelbase on the white. The white being a 6-cylinder tractor, the wheelbase is actually a little bit longer than the Challenger, and I find it rides a lot better on the rough ground and that. So that's the other reason I prefer the white. So anyway, the white's back, so we're going to switch back to that. Maybe the next time if we spread some more, but for now we're just going to keep going with the Challenger. Alright, so this is the second load here, spreading on this field. We call this the field on the high side because it's on the side of the road opposite the ocean. So this is the field on the high side. Like I said, it was sprayed there a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago. So it's fairly well yellowed by now. But anyway, we're going to pound some manure on it here, and I think we're going to no-till it. So yeah, about the Challenger, I guess we'll talk about that a little bit. So I've been asked a few times how we like the Challenger and what we think of it, and you know, it's a pretty good tractor. We got some seat time on it now. You know, Dad used it last winter snow plowing, and I've been using it spreading manure. I hauled a few silage wagons with it. I like to do a few more things with it, but I just haven't had a chance yet. Yeah, it's a pretty good machine. So for those of you that aren't familiar with them, I mentioned in the last video, but this is basically the same tractor as a 6614 Massey. It's got the same engine, same drivetrain and everything, same cab. The only real difference is the hood. There's a little bit different design, and it's yellow obviously, and the cab roof is a little bit different design, and it's yellow. And the fenders in the cab too. But I mean, other than that, it's a 6614. I think the interior on the Masseys, they use a lighter theme. Like all this is kind of more of a beigey color than a dark gray. But yeah, it's the same tractor. So this isn't a premium or deluxe version of the MT465D. So all your remotes are still mechanical remotes. They're not electric over hydraulic or whatever. They're not electric controls, like little flippy switches. I think the premium models will have, like the white does, the armrest has the T-handle and the throttle and everything on it, and the 3-point hitch controls, whereas this one here, if you can see, I don't know, but it's kind of still in the console. Myself, I would prefer it in the armrest. I like the white. Like the armrest has the controls on it. I like that setup a lot better. But this here isn't bad by any means. The T-handle shifter on it, I know when I first started using this tractor, I wasn't a really big fan of it. But it has grown on me a little bit. But I still like I mean, I've learned things about it. Like when we first got this tractor, I wasn't sure about how to shift and skip through ranges. I thought that you had to shift through, you know, 1 A, B, C, D, 2 A, B, C, D, and then keep going up. But there's a little button on the side of it. If you press that down while you're pushing it, it'll skip through the whole range like that, so you can shift faster. So that was a kind of a game changer, I guess. But yeah, like it's not bad, but I think I still prefer the actual gear shift and then just having the 4-speed dyna shift like the White does. But I do like, however, I do like the power shuttle for the reverse, and the power shuttle also has the gear shift. You can shift up and down through the ranges on that too. But the older, or I should say the newer version of the White would have that also. Like our White is a 98, I think 98, 99 they come out with the power shuttle, and like the newer ones would have the power shuttle on it, and it'd have like the, not the T-handle, but it'd have a gear shift on it as well. So I think that would probably be the best option for me, but yeah, the T-handle's not too bad. So some other things that I'm not super fond of on this thing, I find the pedal throttle to be just impossible to use. I don't use the pedal throttle a whole lot anyway, but sometimes it is nice. But yeah, in this tractor, I just find you can't hardly use it. Like you can't keep your foot steady on it, so it's kind of useless. But I mean, that's kind of minor. The hand throttle is pretty easy to use anyway. You just use it with 2 fingers. Try to kind of get the shit out of that pipe a bit. Alright, that'll have to do, I guess. So yeah, I just use the finger throttle. I don't really hand throttle. I don't use the foot throttle at all on this tractor. It's too jumpy. So as we discovered in a couple videos back, this thing doesn't actually have closed center hydraulics on it. I thought it would because that's what the White has. I like the closed center hydraulics on the White. It's got almost 30 gallons a minute of hydraulic flow, so it's pretty good. This one here, as it turns out, does have pretty good flow, but it's not closed center. So you may run into limitations with that there, but the only really thing that taxes the hydraulic system on air tractors is that rock picker does, when you have to run the reel and the pickup at the same time. And I found that if I press the combining valve, that seems to do the trick, where I can run both at the same time. The other nice thing about the Challenger is it's got a 40K transmission in it, so it's actually pretty quick on the road. It's too quick for what we're doing right now, but I mean I can go 30 pretty comfortably. The White has it as well, so it's not anything really too new, but it's a lot nicer than driving 30 kilometers an hour wound right out. So that's a nice feature. All the Dynashift tractors will have 40K. I think some of the newer ones with the cab suspension and the front axle suspension will have maybe 50K transmissions, but I think with the 50K you're probably giving up some on the low end, and that's not really that great either. Because I mean it's a tractor, so you still want low end. More than once before I've been passed between the top of the hill and the farm driveway. One thing I can say about the Challenger is even though this thing only got 4-cylinder in it, she's got no shortage of power. It's rated at about 100 horsepower. The weight is rated around the same. And I wouldn't be surprised if this thing has more power than it. She's a pretty strong tractor. And it's pretty fuel efficient too, being 4-cylinder. There is a few kind of nifty features, I guess, of the Challenger that I do like. So over here on the side, there's a preset button for like a preset throttle position. So when I press this button, it'll automatically go to a certain RPM when I press the PTO button, kind of thing. It's kind of how it works. It'll basically set the limit of the throttle, but then when the PTO is engaged, it automatically goes to that limit, kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I find it better than just trying to work the throttle, you know. It seems to work better than that. So when I want to, well, I'll show you. Okay, so when I'm on a spread, I want to turn the PTO on. I just press this button. It engages the PTO. And then I press this button here. And it'll throttle up. I'm only running it at about 460 RPM on the PTO shaft. I'm not running it wide open or anything like that. So it just automatically goes to that set RPM, and I don't got to touch the hand throttle at all. So I like that. That's kind of a nice little feature. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot of other nifty features. And if there's a radio that doesn't work worth a shit, I got one channel. I got CBC, and I can't touch anything or I'll lose the volume. So I don't want to mess with it any more than that. Air conditioning, this thing is ice cold. It's got some kind of automatic throttle and automatic differential lock and automatic 4-wheel drive. I've never used that, but I'm sure it would be handy for some situations. We got the combining valve. We got some kind of other button that does stuff. The buttons are there for the 540 and 540 economy, but it's not actually installed in the tractor. It just has the buttons. So yeah, I don't know. Nice features. Got a spot there for your lunch. It's air conditioned, so you can put your pop in there and it'll keep it cool. And yeah, I don't know. Just it's a pretty good tractor. I like the fenders on it too. The fenders keep from getting the front of the tractor all full of mud. The white doesn't have fenders in the front of it, unfortunately. Oh, it does have the creeper gear in it too, as I mentioned that in the last video picking rocks. We do have a creeper gear in this tractor. So yeah, that's basically a rundown of the Challenger and what we think of it. I guess it's a good tractor in a nutshell. Well, I managed to get 6 loads out before lunch. That's pretty good. One better than yesterday before lunch, I guess. It's not maybe as close as I thought, but whatever. We'll get some more done in the afternoon. Of course, I didn't start as early today either, so oh well. Anyway, we'll resume after lunch. Well, I just got finished spreading the last load for today. Time to go home and do the chores, feed the calves, feed the heifers, all that fun stuff. So I made a pretty good dent in the field. You can see down there it's almost maybe one more pass or so. I'll finish off that end of it, and then won't be long filling this end of it in. It's a little bit wider down this end towards the road here. But yeah, this field's not really a big field or anything like that, but you can pretty well see, you can see the whole thing from where we're at right here. So right down there's where we come in off the road, and it kind of works its way down that way. So it's not a real big piece. I think it might be 4 acres or something like that. So anyway, we got 6, 7, 8, 9 loads out today. So that's pretty good. I wasn't filling them right full though either, so they weren't quite full. I just filled it till I could start seeing it spraying out of the top of the spreader, and then I'd shut it off. Normally I'd wait till it was right to the top, but just wait till I see it splashing out, and that was good enough, because I don't want, like I'm going on the road or when I stop or pull away or whatever, I don't want the manure to kind of splash over the back of the spreader or anything on the main roads. Normally I don't worry about it too much. Well guys, I guess that's it for me today. We're done spreading manure for the day anyway. I know what's going to go on tomorrow. I know the last 2 videos were kind of shitty, but hopefully the next one will be a little bit better. Oh, that's a bad joke. Alright. If you enjoy the videos, guys, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Helps out a whole bunch. Our subscriber count on the channel has really slowed down here in the last month or two. It's kind of unfortunate, but I guess it is what it is. And yeah, leave a comment below. I always make it a point to reply to every single comment that's left on my videos. I know a lot of guys don't bother to do that. I follow a lot of other channels that you hardly ever see replies on, but I always make it a point to reply to everybody, because I think that's one of the most important parts of this whole YouTube thing. So leave a comment below, and I'm pretty sure I'll reply to you. I don't always see it when it's like a reply and then another reply. I kind of miss them sometimes that way, but usually the first one I'll definitely see it, and I'll usually reply. So thanks for watching, guys.